In accordance with Commission Policy Number 50, the Commission will be asked to select a sponsor for the 2013 and 2014 Duck Stamp Contests.
Can I have my mouth back? Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Good morning. For the record, I am Teresa Moyola, the Conservation Am I not on?
Just pull it forward just a little bit more.
Sir.
A bunch of people are leaving.
Got a little noise in the background, so.
Okay. For the record, I'm Teresa Moyola, the Conservation Education Chief for NDOW. I'm here today regarding the duck stamp
Okay, hold on.
contest.
Hold on a second, Teresa.
Can we not hear me?
Excuse me. Hey, folks. Okay, let's. We need to keep quiet. We're trying to move on here. Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Teresa. Sorry.
No problem. I'm here regarding the duck stamp contest sponsor. In accordance with Commission Policy Number 50, the Commission will be asked to select a sponsor for the 2013 and 2014 duck stamp contest. We did receive one submission from the Nevada Waterfowl Association. They have been our sponsor since 1992. I believe you have a copy of their submission in your materials. We believe that their response was thorough and complete and that they met all of the requirements in our request for sponsors.
Okay. Do we want to, maybe, Daryl, do you want to come up and, it's your group that basically is making the request. Would you like to come up and say anything?
Daryl Harwell, Treasurer for Nevada Waterfowl Association. The only thing that I would like to make a comment on is, I was going to do it in the open, but I do believe that we need to take a look at Policy 50 because Patrick Gates gave me some information, and I just want you guys to know that the last 2 years, the artists have decided not to produce the prints afterwards, even though Policy 50 says that they need to produce 75 prints, and the department gets some in the sponsoring group. So over the last 2 years, they have decided not to because basically the prints is a dying art. But on Policy 50, it needs to be looked at and addressed because we've went with electronic duck stamp 10 years or 7 years ago. So it's about 2008, I think, is when we started selling it electronically. Through Patrick Gates, you guys spend $3,633.84 to produce 35,000 stamps. Okay? In 2011, you physically sold 1,852. In 2012, you sold 699 stamps. So you made money, but I would like to say that, you know, Policy 50 come up on a later date, and let's take a look at the stamps, maybe cut it, maybe look at where the department can produce 30 prints. They can keep some, the sportsman's group can keep some. And then another interesting thing is with all the stamps that you guys produce, you hold on to them for 3 years. Then after 3 years, you destroy those stamps. And I'd like to see where we could probably change it that the sponsoring group would get those also. I can tell you as myself, sitting as a treasurer, Tom Wilson, that as long as the state wants to continue on having a duck stamp, we will always put in to be a sponsor. And primarily without the prints, we have no trade value. We can't give it to MBU, DU, all the other ones as a trade to get stuff for our fundraiser dinner. So Nevada Waterfowl gets no revenue by being a sponsor unless we have prints where we can generate our own. That's why I'm thinking if we can have the leftover stamps and we can generate some revenue. But I can almost tell you, as long as I'm still on the board and with Nevada Waterfowl, I will continually put in to be the sponsor because we don't want any other conservation group to get it, as long as you guys want to continue on doing a duck stamp.
Okay. Well, maybe we're a little bit out of order, but we'll maybe if you could bring it up back up in public comment that and very just quickly, and we'll just automatically just we'll get the commission to go ahead and put that as an agenda item to make some proposed changes on policy 50. Okay. Okay. Well, then thank you very much. Go ahead and bring it back to the commission. Any commissioners have any questions with regard to agenda item 14, duck stamp? Commissioner McNinch.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. No questions necessarily, but having been part of the duck stamp judging committee over the years, a number of times, it's beautifully done. Nevada Waterfowl Association's got a ton of experience doing it. I support them 100%. They do a great job with it, and I do appreciate the fact that we've got some, that they're bringing forward some issues that we should take a look at. And I know Commissioner Rain has expressed some of those with the number of stamps over the years. It was 50,000, went down to 35, and I think it warrants some further review and looking at. But I'd support Nevada Waterfowl 100%. So,
Okay.
do a good job.
Commissioner Rain.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to ask Darrell specifically in the organization that he represents to come up with some specific suggestions. I mean, write Commission Policy 50 as you'd like to see it so we can bring that forward. Because, I mean, that's kind of where I don't see the reason why the Commission should sit here and hang out. At least in the past, I mean, it's all dealing with their organization, basically. Yes, it could be someone else, but no one else ever steps up to the place. That means it's all them. I would also like to have some internal discussion with your organization. You guys talk about it and let us know at some point in time. I mean, we're dropping numbers in these stamps. Do you guys think that if we're selling 2 stamps, that's enough? Should we cancel it if we are selling 50, 100, 10,000? If you can come up with a number, a suggestion, hey, you get below this, it might be time to move on. If that number is 0, sell 0 stamps, I'd like to hear it. If there's any other number above that, I'd like to hear that as part of this next deal. And my understanding, has there ever been anybody in the last decade that's applied for this? Just you guys? Okay, that was it. So that makes 14 fairly simple. 23?
23 years.
I couldn't remember previous.
Your one comment, me and Tom Wilson have stepped up to take over the duck stamp. Darrell Harwell, treasurer. Our board thinks the duck stamp is dead. Me and Tom have taken upon ourselves to continue the stamp for no other organization can get it. Prints are dying. I mean, if you go on eBays and all this stuff, the prints are not really selling. They are a bargaining chip for us that we can get stuff from other. But, I mean, most of Hugh Judd, who's ran it for the last 22 years, he wants no part of it. So me and Tom are taking it upon of ourselves. So to your question, our board thinks it's already dead. And, here again, it'd be interesting. You haven't had a print in 2 years. You had 1,811. You went down to 669 last year. Be kind of interesting to see how many stamps you sell this year. And it might keep on dropping. But that's going to have to be something that you guys decide. We're not going to tell you to stop doing the duck stamp. I mean, we're duck hunters. That's a decision that you guys have to make. I mean, by all rights, if you don't pick a sponsor, the duck stamp comes back to the department anyway. So, that's going to be something you guys have to decide, not
Okay.
us. We're not going to tell you to stop it.
Okay, this is probably a discussion better for when we get to policy 50, and so anyway, we'll definitely get there. Okay.
Ready for a motion?
I'm ready for a motion.
A public comment. Did we cover public?
Oh, excuse me. Yes.
Don't want to get us in prison.
Yeah.
No, prison's bad.
This is an action
Well, that's
item.
okay, actually.
Go ahead and take it out for public comment on the duck stamp contest sponsor. Anybody have any public comment? Okay, seeing none, I'll go ahead and bring it back to the commission. Commissioner Howell.
What? I'd move that this commission selects Nevada Waterfowl Association as a sponsor for the 2013 and 2014 duck stamp contest.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion, a second. Any further discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll go ahead and call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Hearing none, motion passes unanimously.
I'm 1-0 with my sponsors.
Okay, let's move on to agenda item number 15.